His 1.66 ERA ranks first.
Yes.
His 59 and 2/3 innings ranks first. If you put together a list of every start in Royals history that included at least 8 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts, and no walks, 8 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts, and no walks, the list would include Zach Greinke back in June of 2010 against Cincinnati, and Seth Lugo yesterday. End of list. Yes, end of list. As for the Royals, as Pete Gradhoff tweeted, the Royals, now after yesterday's victory, their record is 25-17. They have 25 wins right now. Last year, at the All-Star break, they had 26 wins. So one more win, and they will tie the number of wins they had last year at the All-Star break. Wow! Right. Wow is right. But yesterday was, again, all about Seth Lugo. And not just yesterday, but all season long. But yesterday he was terrific. That was a career-high 12 strikeouts for him. I mean...
yeah, the boys are playing some ball.
Yeah. Yes. Lugo recorded 8 whiffs on his curveball and 7 of his 12 strikeouts. So his curveball was incredible. I mean, hey, right now, I know we still got a ways to go, but he's the starter for the All-Star game. Right now, his numbers are better than anyone else's in the American League. And there's no debate. So, it's incredible. What a free agent signing by the Kansas City Royals. I mean, look, they've been a very good team. They are a playoff quality team right now so far. Where would they be without Seth Lugo? He was already named their pitcher of the month for April. Nobody's pitching better than him in the American League. Let me hear Matt Quatrero on Seth Lugo's performance. And again, 12 strikeouts, no walks, 112 pitches. And he was absolutely locked in. He's been locked in. The curveball is magnificent. Keeps hitters off balance. What a great example for the younger pitchers to watch every fifth day. Here's Matt Quatrero on the performance of Seth Lugo yesterday.
A lot of the same, which is incredible. Just commanding the ball, everything is right there. So they have to honor every pitch, and he changes it up so much and gets the weak contact early in the count. But to strike out 12 and only throw 110 or 112 pitches or whatever, that's really remarkable. And just the confidence that you have when he's out there. I mean, he just comes out and feels like he's in total control all the time.
I wonder if you could just take us through the thought process sending him back out there for the 7th and the 8th, too, and obviously finishing with 112.
Yeah, in the 7th, where we were in the batting order, how the 6th had gone for him. Felt really good about the 7th. The 8th, we had been talking about giving him an opportunity to go, and we were going to go hitter for hitter right there, with a 3-run game as soon as one guy got on. But he really executed in that inning and, finished as well as he possibly could have.
Right. That's right. You leave him out there. It would have been great. He doesn't have to. I'm not considering criticize Matt Quatrero after winning another game, but how great would it have been? Can you take us through the thought process of putting him back out there? Yeah, I totally regret taking him out 77 pitches. And that was a mistake. And so I'm not going to do that again. Yes. I'm going to leave him out there. I'm going to let the boy watch. Right? That would have been refreshing. That would have been real nice. But, hey, just that I probably think he feels that way. Q, take us through the thought process. Well, 77 pitches is my thought process. Yesterday, Lugo had 77 strikes. How about that?
Yes.
Out of his 112 pitches. And so no need to do the mental gymnastics to try to make excuses for Q to, no. If you thought it was a wrong move to take him out 77 pitches last time, you were right. He just threw 112. And he looked pretty good doing it. And so I think they were okay with doing that early in the season. They were okay with all of it. It was all good. Sometimes the best move, when you have a pitcher like Seth Lugo on the mound, sometimes the best move is no move at all. And that's what they did. And he gets through 8 innings, 8 brilliant innings for Seth Lugo. So there's your Royals. We got lots of other stuff to talk about. Let's find out where Nate Bukaty is. Nate, tell people where you are today.
Good morning, Stephen. I am at the 2024 Advent Health Championship at Blue Hills Country Club, which is right off of State Line. And I don't know how many years in a row we've been coming out here, but it's been quite a few. And we're here today. We're going to be there's this championship tournament goes today through the 16th. So it's a great event here in Kansas City. It's the biggest professional golf event that happens in Kansas City. The next generation of PGA Tour stars playing right here in our hometown on the PGA Tour sanctioned event, the Korn Ferry Tour. And it's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun today. We'll have some guests on later on in the show. If people want to come down and watch this event through the course of this week, general admission tickets are only $10 a piece. They do have a new tailgate experience for $85 a ticket, and they have all kinds of different levels of suite clubs and things like that. That's premium seating and party areas that you can buy tickets to as well. You just go to AdventHealthChampionship.com. AdventHealthChampionship.com, and you can see all the tickets there. So it's going to be. Hopefully the rain holds off today. I know right now it's dry out here. And we'll see what happens with the weather through the course of the day. But, again, that's where I am, Blue Hills Country Club, the 2024 Advent Health Championship, and it will be another great event this year.
All right, we're not too big on trivia in the mornings, but when we are, it's usually something fun like this, and I get to test the knowledge of Nate Bukaty and Jake Gutierrez.
Oh, boy.
And now, unless you have seen this, I do not believe that you'll guess this correctly. On Sunday, and if you've already heard this or seen this, just fess up, because this is obscure enough to where we'll know you're fibbing. On Sunday,
so you're basically setting us up to fail.
Kinda.
Okay, I'm all right.
Yeah, kinda.
I'm good at that.
I found this to be interesting. No, but if you get You'll get one of them. If you get two of them, you're pretty good. If you get three of them,
Then we cheated.
then you cheated.
Okay. Fair enough.
Because
We're good at that, too.
I was going to tell you,
Oh, I'm great at that.
I think I would have got one of them.
Got me through
I
college.
think I would have got two of them. Zero shot that I would have got. Zero shot.
All right.
Zero shot.
I'm intrigued.
I could have had all day and I wouldn't have got it.
Let's roll.
On Sunday, Lugo became the fourth Royals pitcher to strike out 12 batters with 0 walks. All right, so you have to have at least 12 strikeouts and no walks. Who were the other 3?
I'm going to guess Luke Hochaver.
Yep, that's the wild card that I would have got because I remember that game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Specifically.
go Zach Greinke.
That's the gimme that I would have got. And then the last one, God bless you if you get it.
You going to give us an era?
No, I'm not Taylor Swift.
Boy, that's true.
Man, good quick response there, by the way.
You're on it.
Man, all right. Let's see. I'm trying to think of just like some obscure pitcher that.
Well, I mean, you throw. I mean, so if it's obscure, then it's obviously
2019.
It's not. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Kyle Snyder.
No. 2019.
I don't know.
2019.
Didn't he have like his rookie year? Have a like a.
When was his rookie year? It
I
wasn't
don't know.
2019. I can tell you that.
Oh man.
I thought he had like 10 or 11 or like double digits in one of his early starts.
I have no recollection of this happening, by the way.
Man.
I really don't.
I'm trying to even remember who was on the team in 2019.
I'm scanning Baseball Reference just to make sure it really happened.
I don't
To
know.
be honest with you.
2019.
I mean, yeah. Let me see. 2019 game logs. I don't believe this happened. I don't think it happened, to be honest with you. Oh, it happened. It happened again. It happened on August 10th. It happened on 8/10/2019
Hey.
at Detroit, and the Royals won 7-0.
Huh.
This guy went 7 innings, 4 hits, 12 strikeouts, no walks, no runs. And that lowered his ERA from 6.02 to 5.19.
So clearly, oh, man.
Can't even think who's.
Yeah,
Duffy
I just
on that
I don't.
team?
Okay, so here's the other.
Duffy?
This will have the help I'll give you.
Not Duffy.
He was originally drafted by the Royals in the first round in 2008.
Okay.
He was traded by the Royals in 2012
All right.
in the Will
Sean
Myers
Manaea.
in the Will Myers trade.
Oh, I saw him pitch up in Omaha. Mike Montgomery.
There, boom! Wait a minute, how'd you get that? Well, good job,
Right?
Yeah,
He was
it.
a highly touted prospect.
That's it.
I went up to Omaha. It was
There you go.
2010,
Good.
and I went to an Omaha Storm Chasers. I think their stadium was like it was the first year they opened the stadium. I won't tell you what else happened that weekend. but-
Right, unnecessary. Mike Montgomery.
Well done, Jake.
Boys are playing some ball.
That's that's an interesting list, is it not?
I would not have gotten
Right.
that unless you know.
Right, like I told, like I would
All
have got
first round
Greinke.
draft picks.
I would have got Greinke. The Hochaver, I remember the Hochaver start, but then the last one, I still have zero recollection of that happening.
Yeah, neither do I.
They
Yeah, I
could've-
barely remember him being on the team.
They could have told me, yeah, we just put that in the article to see how many people would believe it.
Fact check.
Right, just to see if you're paying attention.
Nah, he was. I mean, he was supposed to be the man.
It was like him and Lamb, right? Weren't those were the two big prospects at that time? I feel like.
I mean, he when I saw him pitch in Omaha, Nate, he shoved.
The boy, didn't he?
I was pumped about him, but you know,
Yeah, it was. I
three,
feel like it was
3A
him,
ball
Duffy,
player.
and Lamb were all supposed to be like studs, at one point.
Yeah,
They were coming through the system.
That was the future of the rotation. How about it?
All lefties, if I remember correctly.
So there you go.
But how about that? All first-round picks.
And now
Very
add Seth Lugo to the list.
Yeah.
What a signing, by the way.
Yeah.
And again, look, I'm not. He had an ERA in the threes for the Padres. So he was a good, solid starting pitcher last year. So I'm not gonna sit here and tell you he's gonna have a sub-2 ERA or whatever. But I don't know what he's gonna have. I didn't think he'd have this. But what I can tell you is a 2-year. You think about the price of starting pitching. First, just the price of starting pitching. Then consider the price of good starting pitching. 2 years for $30 million with a player option in 26. $15 million this year, $15 million next year, and then a $15 million player option in 26. Now just think about how much starting pitching costs. And I know there are people, how do you call that a bargain? That's 2 years, $30 million. That's a bargain when it comes to frontline starting pitching in Major League Baseball. That's a wonderful signing.
Verlander's making $38 million this year.
Okay.
Verlander at 40.
You get a guy that's pitching like a third starter for that much. You're like, okay, hey, that's good. We're pretty happy here. So above and beyond so far. He's fun to watch. Former pitchers love to watch him. The curveball's out of sight. How much fun was that to watch him? Incredible. Incredible, Seth Lugo. And just another win for the Kansas City Royals. We'll take a break. Back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Welcome back to the show. Let me hear another clip of Matt Quatrero talking about Royals starting pitcher Seth Lugo and his terrific performance yesterday against the Angels.
Giving him the opportunity because that's what he had deserved over the course of that, or just where your bullpen was?
Everything, he's the kind of guy that knows how he feels more than anybody. And like we've talked about, he can get you out in different ways. So we feel good about the fourth time through the order with him in certain situations. But again, we aren't going to run him into the ground. He gets an extra day off coming up. Last outing, he only threw 77 pitches. So all those things factor in.
How much of a pleasant surprise has he been? I mean, you'd hope he'd be good, but he's been among the tops in baseball.
Yeah, I mean, we were counting on him to be one of the top couple starters we had. What he's done so far, I don't think anybody can bank on something like that run of starts but the way he's done it, it's really impressive, and it really hasn't wavered. So we're really clearly excited to have him in our rotation.
You mentioned the ability to mix pitches. What did you just see out of his curveball today that made it so difficult for him to hit?
Well, it's a really good pitch, and he uses it at the right times. He doesn't overexpose it so they get to see it too much. He breaks it out when he knows he needs that.
Talk about having to honor everything. I think he threw all 9 of his pitches. I mean, what does that mean to have kind of all of those and all of them working?
Yeah, I mean, that's...
No walks.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I can't even fathom having 9 pitches to choose from, but the fact that he uses them and has the ability to locate them all, and they all do something. A lot of guys will say they have a couple different pitches, and they don't necessarily act differently, but his do. When you're in the box and you see something moving that you're not used to, a lot of times you either put a weak swing or you just freeze on it, and he gets a strike.
I wish he would have answered, you know what, really, not a pleasant surprise at all. We've been a little disappointed, to be honest with you. We thought he'd be better. We thought he'd be better, so, not pleasant at all. He's just been terrific, kids. So, hey, Q, how much of a pleasant surprise has he been? Nah, not really. We thought he'd have a sub-1 ERA. He's dragging ass out there.
Only threw 77 pitches last time out. I mean,
Nope. I like how he pointed that out. So he was fresh. He certainly was. But damn, he was good yesterday. All I can say is, wow, I got nothing else. Wow, Seth Lugo. And the Royals now, half game out of first place. So we'll take that. That's incredible, just by itself. Again, it's fun to have to check the standings every morning or every night or whenever you do it. Cleveland 25-16. Minnesota 24-16. The Royals 25-17. A half game out of first. Hey, Kansas City, let's check the wild card standings. Okay. On top, the New York Yankees at 27-15. The second wild card right now goes to the Twins, which they're pretty much in a deadlock with the Royals. They've just played 2 fewer games. And then the third spot goes to the Royals at 25-17.
Boys are playing some ball.
They have a 3-game lead over the Boston Red Sox and the defending champs, the Texas Rangers. And then a 4-game lead over Detroit, 4.5-game lead over Tampa. So a 3-game lead right now for the third and final wild card spot. How you like that?
it's amazing. And you feel like they're going to stay in this thing. And I mean, I guess anything can happen, but it doesn't feel like this is fluky. It feels like they're a good baseball team. They're going to be in this race. It's going to make for a really fun summer.
Yeah. It's been terrific so far, I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm. And they did exactly what Buster said they needed to do playing against the Angels. Take advantage of the opportunity. I mean, they just got through a stretch where they played against a whole bunch of really good teams. They kept themselves above 500. They held their own in that run. When you play against the bad teams, it's hard to win a 4-game series. You know, even when you're the better team, it's just hard. And they didn't make it look that hard.
All right, so we'll talk more Royals here in a little while with Ty Lebo. There was a story that made its rounds over the weekend that tickled me because I've had this fight with people over the years. And it's one of those arguments that no one can ever be right because it's a hypothetical. But you just feel strongly about your position. And I can rewind you back. Jake, this goes back to your first stint, so you'll remember this. And how I had washed my hands of Alex Smith after the playoff loss to the Steelers. I had it, and I lost my mind when the defense was being blamed. You know, it was too much for me, right? I get it. They couldn't get stops or whatever else, but it was, you know, it just.
I've almost wiped that from my memory.
I haven't.
I was there.
Yeah, I was there with the boys.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
No, you know what? It's important. It's important. Don't wipe that from your memory.
No, but it is funny.
It forces you to appreciate what's going on now even more.
It is funny how we just
okay.
You know, I don't know if I speak for myself. Like, I just forget I even experienced these awful moments because of how many.
You didn't like it?
No, I didn't like it at all. I was furious.
Right, and I was mad.
That was Antonio Brown touchdown when Justin Houston was trying to cover him, correct?
I was mad because, you know, it's like, hey, look, bottom line is this. The Steelers scored 18 points. Right. You should win a playoff game where the Steelers scored 18 points. But I was told that that wasn't good enough because they didn't get stops and things like that. So, I just whatever. We're not going down that road again.
Yeah.
But I had washed my hands. And I told Nate and I told Jeff Chadilla, I'm done now because they're never going to be able to get to the AFC Championship game with Alex Smith the quarterback. It's done. It's over. I'm out. Okay, and then that led to Mahomes being drafted, and then Mahomes is here
with the 10th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft. The Kansas City Chiefs select Patrick Mahomes, the second, quarterback, Texas Tech.
And that was a very turbulent season, if you remember, of ups and downs. And I have many times said that Mahomes would have been my guy in the playoffs because I had seen enough of Alex Smith in the playoffs. And I don't, I was done with it. And a lot of pushback there. And that's fine. And the Chiefs were never going to do it. But we saw what happened. And I know that you get blamed for other things, too, the Titans game. Still, they didn't win. And they weren't going to win. They weren't going to, have a run to the AFC Championship game. They just weren't going to do it. And if you doubt me by saying that, then why did the Chiefs trade up and get Patrick Mahomes if they thought this guy had them on an expressway to a championship? They knew it wasn't going to happen with Alex Smith. So Tamba Ali was inducted into the Chiefs Hall of Fame. Congratulations. He's wonderful. And they had a press conference after that was announced, and he was asked about several different topics, including Patrick Mahomes. And then Tamba Ali's final NFL season in 2017 became a topic. That was Mahomes' rookie season. During the press conference, Tamba Ali was asked by a reporter if he could see what was coming. Tamba Ali, with a smile, said, yep, a little bit. I can't say I saw all these championships, But I knew we had a great player that came in the building. I could tell you that. I mean, at times, we wanted him to play. We wanted him to be on the field, but... And then he just shrugged. And we know what happened from there. But I appreciate Tamba Hali being honest and open about that. And what is wrong with that? What's wrong with just telling the truth?
I think that's what you're supposed to do.
No.
I think that's
no.
I think it's part of having
Sometimes.
integrity.
For a lot of people, you're supposed to protect some Alex Smith's feelings. Okay?
It's a business, man. It's not about feelings.
Back in June of 2018,
it's not a shot at his character.
Tom Ali said, when he was asked about Mahomes, you're going to get a complete player. He's a smart player. He can throw the ball. Athletically, he's gifted. You don't have to coach it. I don't want to hype him, but I compare him to Brett Favre. He runs around the field and he throws the ball and he's just having fun. And if in that season, remember the Chiefs started 5-0. Then they went 1-3 entering the bye. And then they lost 2 more out of the bye, only scored 9 points against the Giants, scored 10 points against the Bills. A 5-0 start had become 6-5. Then they won 4 in a row to end the regular season, including Mahomes against the Broncos, and then lost a wild card game at home when they blew a 21-3 lead. Well, just reminding you of that, too. But thank you, Tamba. Thank you. That's all. That put a smile on my face. Because, of course, now you look back. Yes, of course. Of course you wanted him on the field. But there were people at the time that thought Mahomes would give them the better chance in the playoffs. And he would have. And I just wonder, now you want to think about it, what do you think would happen? Would the streak of championship game appearances started that year? They would have beat the Titans. I can tell you that. They'd have beat the Titans. But who knows? Would they have gone on some magical run to the Super Bowl? Would they have won that game and then the divisional round? I don't know. It's fun to think about. But everything that happened happens for a reason. And Patrick Mahomes now, fast forward, is the greatest quarterback in the world. And Tamba Hali is a truth teller, which I appreciate. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like you said, that's not attacking Alex Smith's character or anything else.
It's not even really attacking him as a football player to say that he's not as good as the best
Right.
the best quarterback on the planet.
Like we wanted him on. There were times we wanted him on the field, and so now there were Tamba saying it as one of the leaders of the team. There was plenty of people saying it. They'd watch him in practice, and then they'd see the Chiefs go out and score 9 points and 10 points. And what do you think the conversation was, guys? What do you think? Man, they had to play the kid. I think we'd be better off playing, they moved up and got him. Go ahead and start now. Say something, Jake. All you're doing is giggling,
I don't
laughing.
know. It's fun to think about.
I didn't bring it up. Tamba Hali brought it up.
Right. No. They would have. If they would have beaten Tennessee, they would have had to go on the road to play Tom Brady and the Patriots.
Who
in
knows?
Gillette. Right.
Who knows?
Who knows? Right.
I'm never going to sit here and tell you that Mahomes can't do something. I don't know.
No.
Who knows?
No.
Well, how much would that have changed the narrative? Because that's the one guy that Mahomes could never beat.
What if his rookie year he went in there and beat him
and pulled an upset?
Yeah.
You telling me he couldn't have?
Yeah, no, I'm not telling you that.
He might have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, well, all's well that ends well.
Sure,
it worked out great for him.
Yeah.
But for a guy like Tamba, that was his chance.
Right. That's right. That's exactly
chance.
right. And Tamba's not one of these guys that just says a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? For
thoughtful guy.
For him to say that, it carries way more weight. For Tamba to say that.
Well, I always think about guys like Grunny. What would his legacy have been if he had a quarterback like Mahomes, that he was, with his hands between his legs?
And they'll all tell you now that we're in the locker room that they wanted Gannon to play.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not making any kind of comparison between Gannon and Mahomes. I'm giving you a quarterback controversy that they towed the company line because Marty and Carl wanted to put Ellis Gerback in there because of the contract they gave him, when many, many, many of the players in the locker room knew that their best shot to win in the playoffs was Rich Gannon.
Gannon did win an MVP, and he did go play in a Super Bowl.
Right. And if you go back and you watch that playoff loss to the Denver Broncos, and you sit there and tell me with a straight face that Gannon couldn't have done better, then I don't know what I can tell you. I don't know.
Right.
Then that's where we part ways.
Yes.
And now even talking to the guys, like, Gordon's like, of course we wanted Gannon to play. We had to back the coach's choice.
But he's told us enough to know that those guys in the locker room sit around and talk.
Well, yes.
Just like the fans do.
They know.
Yeah, they know better than
anybody.
anybody.
Watch him in practice every day.
Right.
And so that's why I appreciated Thomas saying that.
I think
Hall of
it's
Famer.
interesting. It's interesting in the backdrop of Caleb Wiley being announced as the starter for the Bears right now, too, because
like Caleb Williams. What did he do?
Did I get that wrong?
I see Caleb Wiley.
Oh,
I don't know who Caleb Wiley is.
No, nor do I.
He's a soccer player?
Shockingly, he's a 18-year-old soccer player for Atlanta United.
There it is.
That would be crazy if he started for the Bears.
Sometimes
this year.
the
really
jokes write themselves, don't they?
Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Because what we do know is that Mahomes, whether or not he needed to sit out the whole year behind Smith, I think we all probably could agree that he benefited greatly from sitting behind Alex Smith for a while, whether that was for 6 games, 8 games, whatever.
Sure.
He benefited greatly. That's been documented. He said it. Everybody said it.
Right. They say it because it happened. And if he would have started from day one, he'd have kicked ass then, too.
I do think he learned a lot about how to take all that physical ability he had.
Awesome.
And then combine it with the preparation and work and all the stuff that Alex Smith taught him.
Right. But, I mean, what's he going to say now?
Yeah.
What's he
but he's
gonna say?
He's told good like specific anecdotes about it. And I believe that. I don't know. Maybe you don't believe. I believe that stuff, and I just think it's interesting that everybody else has basically looked at it and gone, "Yeah, we're not doing that. We're just going to draft these guys and throw them right in, right away."
Well, we saw
a lot of times,
his first start against the Broncos. I mean, you saw it there, right?
Yeah, and look, nobody's doubting the ability of Mahomes, but I think one of the things that does make Mahomes such a unicorn is that he combines all that physical ability with incredible preparation, professionalism, things that some other guys that have incredible physical tools as quarterbacks never seem to figure out. And maybe Williams will do it on his own, and he won't need anybody and that's what I'm saying. I guess it's interesting to see, like, if he's just going to figure all that stuff out on his own.
And here's what we have to go by. Look, we saw what C.J. Stroud did this year. I'm very confident that Patrick Mahomes could have done that.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I do think he benefited a lot from learning under Alex Smith. I'm not saying he should have sat behind him the whole year.
I don't think you can argue the fact that he didn't benefit. I don't think you can argue. He did. He benefited from that. But, I mean, the question is how much and what would his growth process – and look, this is all hypothetical. What would his growth process look like if he did start from the get-go? We don't know.
Right, hypothetical.
But
all we can tell you is one of the best players on the team says that there were times that he wished that he was on the field.
Yeah, and we've heard stories, right? The guys talking about him, running practice, just crushing the defense, the first-team defense.
Yeah.
So it's fun to talk about.
Is it?
I mean, now it is because they have 3 Super Bowl champions.
It is.
I mean, what I've been sitting here laughing at is like, hindsight's 20/20. But Nate, you said you'd be all right with him sitting for 2 years. I had to throw
Well,
it
you
out.
keep those receipts, don't you?
Hey, let me tell you.
I was holding back on that, man.
Nate and Shadia were driving that Alex Smith bandwagon, buddy. Trust me.
I got it out of you.
They ran me over with that Alex Smith bandwagon a few times.
I'd be all right if he sat for 2 years. I'm like, I would not. Because I was kind of in the mindset, why'd you draft this kid if you're not starting him?
I was mad the entire year. So.
Not, but hey, I see your point. You had Aaron Rodgers to look at. We had the evidence that.
Yeah, and I was over the top in my desire to move on from Alex Smith. Or was I? I don't know. But I was. I'm sure I was. But the lack of playoff success is there in front of you, and that's what I care about. I've seen the Chiefs be really good in the postseason or in the regular season, and then fart away everything in the postseason.
And I only keep that receipt because I was irrational Jake, and I almost lost my mind that day.
Okay. You'd love to break, but you're not going to.
That's fine. We can go to
You're
the top.
not gonna, because I got breaking news.
We can go to the top.
Breaking news. Everyone, come on. Let's chant. Breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news. Come on.
You want some sounder?
Yeah? Oh, this will give you some morning satisfaction. Ladies and gentlemen,
as we wreck Jake's clock.
This is worth it, though.
I believe it.
The 2024 NFL opener is now set.
Oh, boy. Wow. Okay, yes.
The Kansas City Chiefs on September 5th will be participating in a rematch of the AFC Championship game against the Baltimore Ravens. Yay, yay! NFL, they already got the graphic out. Reactions?
Perfect. That was the one that I wanted when you gave us the options.
Look, Jake, look at this. Look at the graphic already. Like a fight poster, like a heavyweight championship fight. Look at that. It's almost like I knew it was going to be released this hour. And I kept this out of the break. I was talking about Mahomes. You think I knew something, but I didn't. Because you know what? I'm stupid. Would you look at that, though? Nate says he loved it. I heard you say nothing in there.
I think it's fantastic.
What about the
they
graphic
got it right.
I'm
No,
showing?
they nailed it. That's the one.
How many times are we going to see highlights of that fumble forced by
That's the one.
L'Jarius Sneed?
I want to
Ball
print
over
this.
the top to MVS.
Email it to me.
I want to print this poster and hang it
I'll print it off there.
like giant.
Screen grab it.
Cover the whole wall.
Send it to me.
AFC Championship rematch. Ravens, Chiefs, Thursday, September 5th, 7:20 p.m. on NBC. Also streaming on NFL Plus. I like talking Kansas City sports.
I wonder what Mahomes thinks about that.
That is awesome.
All right.
Now we can take a break. As Brady Quinn once said, now I'm done. You can't find that drop.
The Ravens have a chance to win this game because it's in the regular season.
Wow.
Now I'm done. After Moplex.
That's right. Now I'm done. Back after this on the Sports Radio 810 WHB.
That is awesome.
How are y'all doing?
Presented by Walker Medical Linen Services, locally owned and operated, and HLAC certified, meeting the highest industry standards. Walker has partnerships with hospitals, surgery centers, and medical clinics in and around the metro area. Walker Medical Linen Services in Kansas City and online at walkermls.com.
Let me tell you something. I was screaming down the hallway at Lebo.
Spit on me.
Accidentally. Gabe walked in, me screaming at Lebo. And I was MFing Nate, yelling at Jake. I went wild in that commercial break. I feel alive right now. I feel great.
Monday.
Tom Ali is giving me life.
You're just alive right now, Nate. That's what you do.
Yeah, you're everybody's catching strays, Nate.
Yeah.
Well, excuse me.
Now you're getting ripped for things you said 6 years ago, so.
Like when I told you guys the Chiefs were going to draft a quarterback.
That's not going to cover up the stink of Alex Smith on you. So.
Even Shadia.
Right. I'll never forget. I almost had Jake digging up old shows. So be careful what you say, or we'll just go and start taking a trip down memory lane.
That's part of what you have to do.
Archives were almost just over.
Okay. Bother you.
I know that. Jeff does a great job of pushing my buttons. He loves it.
It's so easily pushed.
My proclamation of 4 and 6 years is alive. It is alive.
Beginning on September 5th against who?
The Baltimore Ravens. No, seriously. I got laughed out of the studio.
Nobody laughed at the studio. Who's ever laughed at the studio?
Justin, what do you think they can actually do? I think they can win 4 championships in 6 years. And even that, then after I said, I go,
well, you may be.
I got baited into it. No, but like if they won,
it's alive. But if they don't, you look to be really smart.
But it's alive. It's alive in a 6th year. Just the fact that this is in play.
It's in play.
You know, and that's why I'm okay with revisiting horrific playoff losses. Because it's just a reminder of how special this is that we have.
It is, and honestly, think about this. It is. They've won 3 Super Bowls and they've gone to 4, but they have had some heartbreaking playoff losses, even with him at quarterback.
Overtime.
That is the life of football.
Brother,
that's how it works.
There was a time that an overtime loss in the AFC Championship game
would be a victory.
Would have broken me.
Nah, not
for good.
It's no big deal.
And it almost did.
It's no big deal.
Right.
No big deal.
Well, when it happened, okay, I was able to deal with it better against the Bengals until that Monday
when Jake came in
and ripped.
He turned you
ripped
around
the rest of my heart
and
out.
put a knife in your back.
Yeah.
I just made you stronger.
Yeah. He put his arm around me just so he could get the dagger deeper in.
Dig it in.
But like the walk to the Patriots, after the Patriots lost to the car, that was a walk of heartbreak and sorrow. I was a broken man.
At least there wasn't snow in the parking lot.
Being